Well, guess what, people? It is 1800 hours or 6 p.m. here in the UK. I am Brian, the UK Bitcoin Master, saying welcome to all of my Bitcoin friends from around the world. Welcome to the channel. It's great to be with you all. Forgive me if I'm not jumping around. Many of you know that I had some really terrible news last week about a lifelong friend suddenly dying. I couldn't do Thursday's show. I was all over the place, but I decided that I had to try and get back on the horse and do tonight's show. So I'm not jumping around all over the place, but I am extremely happy and bullish about Bitcoin. So welcome everybody to the show. Very quickly, Satoshi, Rocky Palumbo, Casso, Elaine, John Stramitas, Zaza, JC Botha is in, Chunkadunk, great to have you with us as well. I saw Andy BTC earlier. Welcome to you. Welcome to everyone. It is great to be back with you all. What happened last week really rocked my world, to be honest, and I didn't even know if I was going to continue doing my Bitcoin shows, and it was all about the, feel bad for me type of scenario. Do you know what I mean? It was an awful time. What's the point? Anyway, so I'm here and I'm back, and I'm glad I'm back, and I'm glad that you guys have headed over to support me. So don't forget, pound the like button. Like this video, share it, subscribe, bash the bell button so you get notified when I go live. Share this out on social media. That would be superb. I would appreciate it. If you're new to the channel, you should be paying attention to the disclaimer, down here somewhere, that says I don't give financial advice. Don't take anything I say as financial advice. It is just me sounding off. Check out my websites, ukbitcoinmaster.com, every video I've ever done, bitcoininterviews.com, where you'll find all the live interviews that I've done to date with some of the greatest thought leaders in the Bitcoin space, in, excuse me, my opinion. And finally, for those that want to drop a lightning tip, there you go, tipping.me /@UKBitcoinMaster. You don't need to drop a tip. If you want to, there you can do it. I'd just appreciate this being retweeted out. So that is it. That's the preliminaries out of the way. Again, if you want to grab my attention, type in UK Bitcoin Master before you type in any type of message or question. It will highlight in orange. I'll see it out of the corner of my eye. I'm always watching the chat, but sometimes it moves too quickly and I can't see what's going on. John Stramitas, thanks very much, my friend. If any of you have lost someone, and I'm sure you have, when you're not expecting it and it happens suddenly, it just turns your world upside down. And it did it for me. So my dad died 10 years ago, and that was horrific enough. And this was right up there with it, I have to say. This guy I knocked around with when we were teenagers. We went biking together on motorcycles. We did loads of things together until I got married. I stayed friends with him all through my married life. I went to concerts with him recently. I spoke to him a few weeks ago, John, and it wasn't a nice time at all to know that the guy had suddenly had a heart attack and died. So flipping awful, but there you go. I wanted to look down the chat. I saw something. Gary O'Connell, welcome. Great to have you with us, Gary, as always. And no, it's not the dating channel. Yorkshire Sat Stacker, welcome. Yeah, life can be cruel for sure. But hey, you know what they say? How many times you go down and get up again before you stay down? I'll always get back up again, but sometimes it's really tough. Let's get over to the desktop and see what's going on in the world of Bitcoin right now. And I couldn't help starting with, for those of you that are watching the price like crazy, about an hour ago, that was flirting with 12K again. I know we just pitched through 12K, back down to around 11.9 or just under. You know what? If you watch the price, you go crazy. It is good to know, and the general consensus and the general feeling out there is we are on the fringes of something pretty unique, a bull run, which is always nice. I always say that in the 4-year cycle, you tend to have the bull, then you've got the crashes, then you've got a couple of years in the wilderness, that you've got to have that strong Bitcoin hand for to stay in that wilderness. And then if you stay in that wilderness and hold your Bitcoins and you hold your keys, you know, you're going to get another bull run again. And it's just a really, really exciting time at the minute because, you know, we all sense that this thing is going to happen at some point. Now, we did have another Bart Simpson. Let me just bring that up and have a look. We saw one of those Bart Simpsons again, or Bart heads as we call it, where sometimes it goes down then up, but this is up, across and down. I guess this is a whale dumping out, but you can see it quickly recovered again, and we're back, as I say, around the high 11,000s, which is pretty darn exciting. So let's have a look at some of the news that I found to talk to you all about. What was that? Yorkshire, life can be cruel. Yeah, certainly can. Bitcoin is almost as big as the Bank of America. So, you know, we're all looking for things to say to somebody that wants to rain on our parade or rain on our bonfire or whatever the terminology is. Here's a great one, isn't it? When somebody says, that old Bitcoin, say, yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? It's only 11 years old and it's the size of Bank of America. Bang. 5 or 10 words. And, you know, you could potentially shut them up, couldn't you? So I think I did find some text worth reading, but basically, you know, it talks about, with all the speculation around Bitcoin at the moment, it talks of our market cap 217 billion. Now that could have changed since this went to print. I get that. You've got 226 billion is the market cap for Bank of America. So in terms of an asset class that's so new, that's pretty darn impressive statement to say to somebody, isn't it? You know, they say, well, that old Bitcoin's a Ponzi scheme, or that old Bitcoin's for fraudsters, etc. You know, you might want to turn around and say, yeah, maybe it is. But, you know, already in its very short life, it's now almost matched the size, the market capitalization of the Bank of America. That's pretty impressive, isn't it? For something that's an SHIT coin, whatever you want to say to people. I think I did, yeah. Let's have a look. Let's line it up. The asset could reach astronomical heights. Okay, that's a heading. In an August the 4th crossover podcast with Peter McCormack, host of the What Bitcoin Did podcast, Morgan Creek digital co-founder Anthony Pompliano recently forecasted a future Bitcoin market cap of more than 80 or 90 trillion at some point before the end of time. How do you define what the end of time is? Who knows? I personally think Bitcoin, once it starts to go, will quickly realize the same potential as gold, maybe have the same supply as gold, or the market cap of gold, or whatever it is. The global, I think gold's about 8 trillion or 9 trillion. I can see that happening in my lifetime, actually, truth to be told. But, you know, again, really, really, really exciting to be alive. And right now, when we're at the start of something pretty darn exciting. A long-time Bitcoin advocate, Pomp, has stated his position many times on Bitcoin as an asset uncorrelated with mainstream markets. There's an argument that we're still correlated. I think, you know, it will uncorrelate if it already hasn't uncorrelated. This is stuff that goes over my head. I'm putting that out there right now. Many of you in the chat are probably more tuned into this than I ever am. I'm just a Bitcoiner that's stacking my sats like anybody else, and decided I want to do a Bitcoin show to share my enthusiasm with others. I don't understand charts. I don't understand technical analysis. None of that stuff. I'm learning. I'm doing my bit to, you know, try and learn a little bit each day. But, you know, many of you know way more than I do. So please understand it's me just sounding off. Just Learn Bitcoin Dan, welcome to the chat. Always great to have you with us from down there in Mexico. Okay. And I've also had an internet problem today. And as you can see, there's a lag, and we're talking about a white screen. So I do want to do this in order. So let's just waffle until it finds itself. But guess what? It's not going to. Okay, right. I've just refreshed the page. Let's see if I can get it up. Okay. It doesn't want to come up, does it? So, yeah. We've got it. Okay. So here's one I found. Bitcoin dollar cost averaging from 2017 market peak still returned almost 62%. And another white screen. What the hell? Okay, there you go. I did highlight something in blue, but it's probably gone here. But it talks about, interestingly, despite the fact that the leading cryptocurrency is still trading 30% below its all-time high, we know that of 2020, the dollar cost averaging from the peak of the market in December 17 would have meant a return of 61.8% or 20.1% annually, noted Coin Metrics. So I think another argument there for dollar cost averaging into Bitcoin. You know, taking the emotion out and Brian's white paper. Thanks, JC. My white paper is buy Bitcoin, hold it on a Trezor and enjoy your life. That's my white paper. So perhaps I'll do a white paper, actually, JC, and I'll get everyone to read it. Maybe we'll circulate it out there on social media. The Bitcoin, UK Bitcoin Master white paper. Buy, put it on a Trezor, enjoy your life, and don't wish your life away. DCA King as well, yeah, okay. So, dollar cost averaging, a really good thing to be doing. Woo. Bcash holders dump Bcash as chain split fears build. Okay, at this point, here's what I want to say. We all know that there are Bcash haters out there, and I don't like Bcash. But I also want to put this out there that it's going to coexist with Bitcoin and a lot of other top tier coins. Having said that, do you want to be involved in a coin where the hash rate's dying a death, where there's arguments going on, and we've already had BSV chain split, now there might be another chain split? So for me, no. You know, when you look at the hash rate and you look at Bitcoins against Bcash, when you look at the devs arguing about how they take it forward, you know, maybe over time, as Roger Ver says, Bitcoin Cash might gain its momentum and overtake Bitcoin. I don't think that's going to happen in my lifetime, if I'm truly honest with my own personal views. The core dev team behind Bcash is once again butting heads over the features that will be included in the upcoming November protocol upgrade. Investors are selling their holdings as the risk of another chain split builds. Okay, I don't see people dumping out their Bitcoin because of fears of stuff like that going on. If you're new to all of this, there was a debate back in 2017 about block size, which is why Bcash was forked off of Bitcoin. They said that, you know, Bitcoin fees were too high. The Bitcoin devs were too slow in what they were developing. Here's the thing. Would you rather be involved in a coin that goes quickly and breaks it, and by breaking it, putting your hard-earned dollars or pounds or euros at risk? Or would you rather be involved in a coin where they don't rush anything? They get it right. They test it, double test it, treble test it, quadruple test it, all sorts before they put it out there to the network. That suits me down to the ground. Does that mean that Bitcoin might grow slower than the others initially? Yeah, you got to deal with that. You got to have a long-term thinking mentality and not a how can I get rich quick mentality. If you're looking for a way to get rich quick, then you might need to go and look for a Ponzi scheme that, by the way, you might get rich if you're really lucky, but then you trounce on millions and millions of people that get totally wrecked. Yeah? Or try trading, but you're gonna lose your money. So stick with Bitcoin is my honest opinion. No financial advice, obviously. They might do things slowly, but they do things the correct way. And I rather like the sound of that. Yorkshire Sat Stacker says, this will be my third bull run. The excitement and anticipation is really starting to build again. Sleepless nights just around the corner. Hey, it's exciting. No sleepless nights for me. It will do what it does, if I'm absolutely honest. But Yeah, is it exciting when you see the price pumping? Yeah, I was around in 2017 and I saw the price pump from when I bought my first original Bitcoin at 1,500 British pounds or dollars, I don't know, $1,900, whatever it was. And I saw it climb and climb and climb through December to 20K. Massive excitement. I had no clue what was going on when the thing was dropping like a stone during 2018. But thankfully, I got in the rabbit hole and I learned from some real strong hand Bitcoiners, and it made me understand quite quickly on that there are bulls and bears, there are highs and lows, bull markets, and there are sideways markets and bear markets. And I quickly learned about the 4-year cycle. So yeah, inwardly, of course I'm excited that the price is going up, but here's where my excitement diminishes slightly. When I go to do my monthly dollar cost averaging, when the price has gone up, the elation that we've got a pot of Bitcoin already is great. But of course, I'm getting less Bitcoin or Satoshis for my pound when the price goes up. So I guess a bit of a double-edged sword. But nevertheless, I'm not knocking it. I'm excited about the pump that is coming. We don't know what it's going to be like, but I'm so glad that we are living through it. I really am. Okay. I thought I'd make you all aware of this for those weak hands. As Bitcoin gets more popularity, more mainstream, you're going to get the scams. Now we've got the sex scams that are out there. You know, I've had emails saying, we've seen you looking at pornographic sites, which they have not. And we've got your password, and it's an old password that they found and they've thrown it at me. And that would scare a lot of people into handing over some Bitcoin if the hackers said, we're going to splatter everything we know about you and all your dirty dealings all across the internet. When you know you haven't, you don't worry about it. But there's going to be tens of thousands of people that are scammed. Already this particular scam has got over $115,000 to date. In brief, it says here, a Bitcoin sextortion scam has claimed another victim and raked in 115 grand in total. Sextortionists hold targets as ransom, claiming they've sensitive imagery of them performing sexual acts. Usually the claims are false. And they are. So you just want to be aware of it. I'm just putting this out there on the show for those of you that find this channel in the future. If you are finding this in the future, really important that you go down over here somewhere in your corner and you hit that subscribe button so that you get my regular shows twice weekly on a Monday and a Thursday, 1800 hours London time. You can do your own conversions wherever you are around the world. And then you can let me help you build your strong hand. And all I'm doing it, people, for is there is no financial gain for me to this channel. Certainly when you look at my subs, I'm doing it out of wanting to pay it forward. Somebody, a handful of people, Bitcoin Meister, Rocky Palumbo, Vortex, Simon Dixon, Tone Vase, Trace Mayer, a handful of people helped me build my strong hand. If the new generation can find channels like mine that don't talk technical stuff and I can help them build their strong hands for their futures, that's all I want to do. So I'm asking you to pound the like button and share it out. I'd really appreciate it. So be aware of these dirty, filthy scammers because they want to take your Bitcoin. Another one about a country banning Bitcoin. There's nothing I want to say on this article, bar if they do, they are going to be the losers in the long run. This is all media hype. It is fear, uncertainty and doubt. Or if you're new, it is FUD. That's all it is. Maybe they will ban it. But, you know, if a country bans it, it will go underground in that country. Those people that are in the Bitcoin rabbit hole will not give up their Bitcoin easily. It ain't happening, people. So India can do whatever they want to do. But with the population they've got, they're nuts, they're screwy, they're going to just go way, way, way down in the rankings if they wait until other countries start to adopt it. That's just me talking again, by the way. You know, I don't know the ins and outs of this article. It is for you guys to pick the bones out of it by clicking in the notes section afterwards. Everything I cover on these shows is in the notes within 5 minutes normally of the show finishing. Okay, you want to go and read the articles because we all think we got a strong hand, but we could all do with building our strong hand that little bit stronger. There's nothing wrong with being rock solid. Yeah, JC, sorry. Buffy, I know she's got her daughter who doesn't live with her, is down for the week. She arrived today, so there's a high chance the reason Buffy isn't in the chat is because she's spending time with her lovely daughter. Yorkshire Sat Stacker said, "You are doing a great job, Brian. It is very much appreciated." Thank you. I can tell you on this show, okay, if you've ever heard the analogy of how graceful the swan is on the surface of a pond, but underneath is pedaling like the clappers, I'm the swan at the moment because underneath I'm still spending tons of time trying to track down all our old buddies to try and get them together, because many of them won't even know that our buddies died. And I found another one this afternoon, and I've got another one I'm really trying to find, and it might mean driving 50 miles and spending a day around where his locale is now and trying to find him. He's in a biker community, so it shouldn't be too difficult. But so I am trying to deliver something for you all. But right now, I nearly didn't do tonight's show, today's show, wherever you are. I nearly didn't do it. I'm glad I did it, but I don't want to get into it too much because it'll get me emotionally. So let's move on. A quick interlude. I've got some great tweets to cover, so stick with me. Quick shout out to Dan, who's in the chat. Just Learn Bitcoin. He's down in Mexico. Dan's got a great web presence at justlearnbitcoin.com. Everything over there, consultations, whether you want to learn about wallet setup and backup, storage solutions, long-term storage solutions, end-of-life planning, vanity addresses, coins sent to the wrong chain, mining questions. It's all over there. It is definitely worth checking out if you're new. Dan, I'm all out of sorts because of what's gone on. I forgot to put me BTC bracelet on, but they got some corking bracelets over there, as you can see. If you go to btcbracelets.com, they've got some really wicked. Look at those ones with the crowns on. I think they're absolutely superb. And there's a 25% discount on them over there. So well worth checking out. Like any good site, they've got some great swag or merch. Everything you could want to promote Bitcoin, from mugs to t-shirts to hoodies to stickers. It's all over there, so do check them out. What I want you all to do, please, as always, is go back and help me support the great Pastor Phil by going back to the homepage, scrolling down, finding this black box here and clicking it. That is going to take you here. You can see all the people that have got behind this lovely guy. He's a pastor of 16 years. He was in the American military during the Vietnam War. His family have taken in disadvantaged and disabled children and adopted them as their own. Rocky and I have done a couple of videos here. Well, I did the top one. Rocky and Phil did the other one with Yes for Motivation as well. That explains how Phil was scammed out of his Bitcoin. If you click on the family story, literally in a heartbeat, you can read the family story. That's it. Couple of minutes. And then finally, there's the wallet info. The transaction ID of the hacker is in the top transaction of this narrow one there. And then if you click on the link in any of these, it will take you over to Tallycoin. And looks like Rocky's been playing around with this and changing how it all looks again. Rocky, every time I go in here, it looks different. I just get used to it and it looks different. Okay, so you can see the details, the contributors, how much we've raised so far. There's Phil's story again there. You can donate anything from 50 cents. And I would encourage you to make a tiny donation to Phil's cause, because I've been banging on about this twice a week, every week. Apart from last Thursday, first show I missed actually in nearly 3 years. And, you know, how he was scammed out of 14 Bitcoin, and nearly a year of promoting it twice weekly, we've raised 1.09% of the goal. I want to get him to 1 Bitcoin. So if you can't donate $5, $10, half a dollar, well, come on, tweet it out. Let's reach some whales so that more people will find this and maybe make a tiny donation to Phil's plight. Okay, back onto some cracking tweets I found. Now, the first one is from Alex Svetsky from down in Australia. Now, forgive me, Alex swears a bit, so there'll be some swear words coming up in a minute. But this was the tweet. My newest article, and I promise you it's really a really important take, and it says, do not buy Bitcoin. Not now, not later, not ever, not ever. And that is dedicated to the skeptics, to the ignorant, to the arrogant, and to the uninterested. And if you click on that link just out of shot there, it takes you here. And this is an article that he wrote, and I really would encourage you to find the link in the show notes and read it, because it's a cracking read. It really is. So let's have a quick read of some of it. It talks about please don't buy. I don't care about driving mass adoption. I prefer selective adoption. It goes on. Then Peter Schiff, the truth is harsh. And then as we go down, there was something I think, yeah, look, I highlighted this to read. It is the opportunity of not only your lifetime, but likely the largest potential wealth transfer in living history. It doesn't say living there, I've added that in. And the wildest past is that the bulk of it, or the wildest part, I think that should say, is the bulk of it will happen over a few decades. Get in there, Rocky. Love it. We're still in the first 12 years of this shift. And we've already seen Bitcoin explode from 0.0008 cents when 10,000 were used to buy 2 pizzas to the current price of 11,500 at the time of writing. This is only the beginning. Barely 0.001% of global wealth is currently denominated in Bitcoin. If you take a moment right now to understand money, its role in society, and how natural economic Darwinism will drive the entire world to the most robust, sound and safe form of wealth storage, you can choose to buy some of it before the rest of the world catches on. And the article goes on. So Elaine, I've just seen your name pop up there. Sweetheart, read this one. It's a really, really, really fantastic article. My job is not to read it all out on the show for you all, but it is to highlight it so you'll find it and read it. It is a superb article. Robert Kiyosaki. Now, he's great friends with the American president, Donald Trump. Donald Trump, before he became president, had his own multi-level marketing business, which I'm not his business, but I'm in a multi-level marketing business, been in it for nearly 24 years. And these guys used to bang on about, the industry of the future is multi-level marketing. You've got to weed through the rubbish to find the good companies. Well, now this all switched and Robert Kiyosaki is on Bitcoin. Now, this is a huge individual. He is known the world wide because of his book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, that was the #1 on the New York best-selling books listing for 8 years solid. So listen to Robert Kiyosaki because he understands money quadrants, how the poor stay poor and how the rich gets richer by what we call the 4 quadrants. It's a great read. It's nothing to do with Bitcoin, but here he is. Gold is up 35% in 2020. S&P only 3. Silver is still the best, still 30% below the all-time high because it is limited in quantity, used in industry and still affordable for those on tight budgets. The sleeper is Bitcoin. I suspect it is about to become the fastest horse. Oh my God, when I was reading that was exciting me and making me hot and sweaty. Love it. I suspect it's about to become the fastest horse. Now, do you want to start piling into Bitcoin when it's already become the fastest horse? When all the big people have piled in and the price has gone up and up and up? Or do you want to buy it now while it is still where it is? Because it ain't going to be here long. In my opinion, No financial advice intended again, people. Bitcoin Tina, my life lessons have come at a cost. Everyone's life lessons come at a cost. My life lesson right now is I wish I'd have called my mate again before I heard the terrible news. I don't care if you don't listen. I'm not your daddy. Bitcoin, take it or leave it. It's pretty profound, isn't it? That is pretty, I don't really care whether you buy it or not. That's where I'm at. I don't really care if the people around me buy it, laugh at me, ridicule me. I don't care. Okay? I'm the one that I firmly believe is going to be laughing last. There's an old saying in the UK, I don't know if you've got it around the world, but he who laughs last laughs longest. I'm going to be laughing the longest, I believe. Now, I could be wrong. I could have egg on my face. And if I am, I'll carry on working my MLM business. It is what it is, but I don't think I'm wrong. Okay. Tyler Winklevoss. Now Goldman Sachs is into Bitcoin. What an about turn, as we say in the UK. About face is maybe what you say in the US. What an about turn, about face from their Don't Buy Bitcoin report issued 3 months ago in May. Ignore the next bit. Tomorrow, they'll be changing the name to Goldman Stacking Sats. I thought that was pretty neat. I hope you enjoyed that one. But here's the thing. In my short 3.5 years in Bitcoin, 3.25 years in Bitcoin, I've seen Jamie Dimon from JP Morgan say, any of my employees involved buy Bitcoin, they'll be sacked immediately. You've seen Main Street Bank saying you'll never see Bitcoin being held by banks. That's all come full circle. There's just a couple of instances. I've been saying for a couple of years, you need vision. In the dictionary, vision is the ability to see something that has not yet manifest, or to see something that isn't there yet. I see $1 million Bitcoin. Whether I'll see $1 million Bitcoin, well, that remains to be seen. But I see, my vision says, without a doubt, we will see $1 million Bitcoin. And if you imagine that one Bitcoin, is it 50k or 60k? I can't remember, will give us $1 trillion market cap. What is $1 million Bitcoin going to give us? What is that going to give your descendants, your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren, their grandchildren and great-grandchildren? Chunkadunk in the chat posted a tweet earlier that I thought was wicked. And I went back and replied, and I can't remember the wording, but it was something like, if we do this right, we can secure our family's financial futures for generations to come. And we can. We are carrying the mantle, us right now, here in 2020, for our descendants long into the future, long into the future when we are all gone. Don't take that lightly, people. And so many people do take it lightly. And I certainly don't, because I've always had vision. Barry Silbert from Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. Are you ready? Grayscale's national ad campaign kicks off on TV next week. I don't care about any of that. The reason I'm showing the tweet is this is how far we've come since I've been involved. There's now TV ads going to be talking about, I don't know whether it's going to be Bitcoin or crypto in general, but can that be good for the space? Oh my Picasso, yeah, it really is going to be good for the space. So more and more, of this is going to be happening, people. It really is. Get in the rabbit hole. Set up your dollar cost averaging, get as much as you possibly can that you can afford to lose and you're not going to risk your home on. Do it as often as you can. Build those Satoshis, because if you don't have the vision that I've got, you will never know that a few 100,000 or a couple of million sats could change your family's life for the rest of their lives and generations. Yeah, Zaza, big vision. Love it. BigVisionCustoms.com as well. By the way, that's Zaza's merch site as well. So there's other people that join the chat that have got some merch, excuse me, merch sites as well. Okay, my quote, and I want you to stick around for this as I read it, people, would you? Because there's a little bit that's relevant to what's been going on for me in the last week. And it's entitled Don't Quit. I'm going to read it to you. When things go wrong, as they sometimes will, when the road you're trudging seems all uphill, when the funds are low and the debts are high, and you want to smile but you got to sigh, when care is pressing you down a bit, rest if you must, but don't you quit. Life is queer with its twists and turns, as every one of us sometimes learns, and many a failure turns about when they might have won had they stuck it out. Don't give up, though the pace seems slow. That's Bitcoin. You may succeed with another blow. Often the goal is nearer than it seems to a faint and faltering man. Often the struggler has given up when he might have captured the victor's cup. And he learned too late when the night came down how close he was to that golden crown. Success is failure turned inside out, the silver tint of the clouds of doubt. And you never can tell how close you are. It may be near when it seems so far. So stick to the fight when you're hardest hit. It's when things seem worse that you must not quit. I think that's a really great quote. I was really in a bad place Wednesday, Thursday, Friday last week, when I thought, I said to Elaine, I'm not going to bother with my Bitcoin show anymore. I just don't want to. I don't want to do it. You know, life just sucks. It's crap. It's awful. You know, and I read this. I don't know why I was searching for something and I came across it. Then we look at those people that thought this bear market's never going to end. And, you know, what's the point of being in Bitcoin? So I'll sell it out. Yeah. You can look at that quote in many ways, people. And it's relevant to all of us at some point in our lives. So I hope you got something from that. I also want to say thanks to each and every one of you, as always, for your support, particularly on the show today, because it's been a bit of a tough one. And I'm sure Thursdays will be slightly easier. And then, of course, we'll have a funeral and that might drag it up a bit. But, you know, if you think I'm weak, then I don't care what you think. You know, I'm a human being that cares about other human beings. I care about mates that I've grown up with since I was 11 years of age passing, you know, even if you don't, I do. And it affected me. I'm sorry, it did. But that is it. That is my Bitcoin show for today. In a minute, I'm going to put up my social media links. If you're listening to this on the podcast, sorry you couldn't see any of the graphics. If you're watching this on catch up on YouTube, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell button so you get notified. Share it out on Twitter. I would greatly appreciate it. I am Brian, the UK Bitcoin Master, saying thanks to each and every one of you for your support. I will be back on Thursday, 1800 hours London time, with my regular UK Bitcoin Master live stream. I hope you'll all join me then. Until then, have a great week, everyone. I'm going to sign off, leave you with my social media links. I'll catch you all on Thursday. See ya. Whoops, I was going to. See you again.